Hello friends, welcome to all of you on my channel. Today, I brought to you a new episode of Relationship Advice, which is based on the story. Before starting the video, I request to my new friends, please subscribe to this channel and also hit the bell icon so that you can get my upcoming video notifications first. Let's start the video. R/relationship advice. My 27 female, soon to be ex-husband, 37 male, forced me into an open marriage and is now telling everyone I cheated on him. How do I prove my innocence? 2 years ago, my husband asked me if we could open our marriage, married for 3 years, together for 5. When I said I wasn't comfortable with that, he said either we open our marriage or get a divorce. I didn't want a divorce, so I agreed to an open marriage. The next year was awful. He would flaunt all of the girls he was sleeping with in front of me. He would even bring them to our apartment to sleep with them whilst I was home. He even slept with my now ex-best friend, Jane, and tried to have a threesome with us. When I tried to voice my concerns, he dismissed them and said I had my chance to set rules. When we first had a discussion, the only rule we had was we had to use protection, and I couldn't complain now. After that first year, I ended up confiding in my friend Anna, 27. Anna and I have been friends since high school, but she never liked my husband, so we drifted. After I got married, when I told her what was happening, she insisted I go back to work. My husband made me quit my job when we got married, despite the fact I had a higher earning potential than him and would have struggled with money since. She ended up connecting me with her brother Leo, 30, who is the owner of a company in the field I was planning to pursue my career in. After an informal interview, he offered me a job. My husband wasn't happy and kept insisting I quit. He even offered to close our marriage if I would just quit, but I didn't want to be dependent on him again, so I refused. He even threatened divorce, but by this point I was checked out of the relationship, so I didn't care. About 8 months later, Anna offered to let me move in with her since her roommate was moving out. I took her up on the offer and filed for divorce. Her and Leo helped me move my stuff out when my husband was at work. My husband has now been telling family and friends that I was having an affair with Leo this whole time. I wasn't, but most people believe him. Most of my friends are insisting I go back to my husband and have made comments about how I was trying to social climb by sleeping with Leo. They have been giving me a lot of lectures about how money isn't everything, and sometimes you find a good man who loves you and you shouldn't throw him away just because someone else can offer you more materialistic stuff. Jen in particular is very vocal about what a mess I am. Just for context, she used to like Leo back in high school, but he rejected her multiple times. So I think she's being especially vicious because she thinks something is really going on between us. I don't have any written proof about this whole open marriage fiasco, so I can't show them that. Is there any other way I can convince them I wasn't sleeping around? How can I stop letting the rumors he's spreading affect me? TLDR, my husband forced me into opening our marriage after he disrespected me so much in a year. Finally decided to file for divorce. He's now telling everyone I was cheating on him with my new boss, who is also the brother of one of my friends. You can't convince people that are already close-minded. If you already told them your side and they refuse to believe it, then they are the type of people that you need to cut out of your life. There is always potential to form new relationships. You tell them I have already told you my side of things. If you don't care to believe me, then that's on you and your opinions on the matter. I couldn't care less. I know the truth and that is all that matters. Do not let anyone guilt trip and don't feel pressured to go back to your husband. He is a dick and you deserve better. Your primary concern is your well-being and independency in the future. Do not let anyone you are in a relationship to force you to do anything that you are not comfortable with. You need to have standards and not put up with crap. Wow. Leave your husband and all these terrible unsupportive friends behind. Your husband was so abusive and disrespectful towards you, and clearly none of your friends and family clued in. Time to start fresh with people who understand and believe in you. Life is so much better when you cut out toxic people, and it sounds like you've had a lot of it around you. Good luck. My ex-ups forced me into an open marriage and didn't tell me about it at all. He then told everyone that I cheated on him after I left him. So, I 100% feel you on this. Here's a pill that's extremely hard to swallow. It doesn't matter at all. Let them think what they are going to think. At best, you convince someone who already believed you to be a piece of shit that you're not that bad. At worst, you look like a panicked, crazed ex-wife. You don't need it. 1. Why did he feel comfortable going to them? And 2. Why did they believe him without discussing it with you? In my case, anybody who wholesale believed him didn't belong in my life. Prune the branches. You don't need to convince anyone. They need to convince you why they should remain in your life after not recognizing you were being abused and then siding with your abuser. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Stay strong and know that the opinions and beliefs of others have absolutely nothing to do with anything. Your ex-husband is just mad because you left his sorry cheating ass. He thought that he would keep you wrapped around his finger, but you gained your power and control back and independence, and he doesn't like that. So he's being a little bitch and starting rumors to gain sympathy, so he looks like the good guy. He's just bitter you left him and ducking good riddance to his ass. As for Jane, she's just a hater cause you married the guy she longed for who didn't want her back then. She ducked him out of spite and looks pathetic egging him on because it just shows her jealousy. I say ignore him and block them and continue to live your life. He's only telling those lies because when and if people find out the truth, they would find out what a piece of shit he really is. He's a loser, and him and Jane deserve each other. Have fun catching STDs and don't let the door hit you ass in the way out. Girl, do you. You are shining and daily growing your strength back and blossoming into the woman you are meant to be. People can't stand to see others shine, and he's bitter you're doing better without him. Misery loves company and you finally left his ass alone. Go ahead, queen. Do your thing, girl. Anyone harassing you, just reply, yeah sure, if cheating means being forced by my husband to let him duck other women, yeah. Obviously it's cheating when you're the one being cheated on by a man who has to have his dick in multiple cunts instead of being loyal to his own wife. Dump all of them. Go no contact. Yeah, go no contact with these people. The ones assuming you're socially climbing or whatever clearly aren't close enough to you to know the truth and probably don't deserve to be. Your soon-to-be ex-husband is a narcissist and probably has them all fooled, but guess what hon, they are no longer your problem. Also, duck Jane. She seems like a real class act. She should have cleared it with you first before boning your husband in your own home. She seems like a giant sleazeball. Good luck with the divorce, it'll all be fine. Just try your best to live well with a smile on your face, because that's exactly what your haters do not want, but also because you're free of them. I wish you the best in your career. Just post a response online. Actually everyone, Jane and my ex-husband had a secret affair and I tried to keep it together with him after I found out, but he shagged tons more women after, and we are through now. Stop believing their bullshit. Your narcissistic ex or possibly your old friend Jane will now be pissed you are lying, and in the ensuing argument, if you just keep saying Jane shagged my ex and my ex had an affair with Jane, one of them will eventually accidentally out the open relationship. You then acknowledge the open relationship as a reason you didn't wish to stay as it was forced upon you, and you did not participate in sleeping around. You also mention you weren't shagging Leo. And tell everyone who has been talking shit you no longer consider them mates, and tell them to go suck Jane's clit. This will work specifically because of the narcissism of the characters involved. When you're in the right path, people want to tear you down out of fear. Fear that you will succeed. The best revenge is living well, so ignore these people and keep moving forward. If they were truly good people and truly your friends, they would believe you. They want to think the worst of you though. They want you to stay small and not amount to anything. I have been in a somewhat similar situation in the sense that I moved away. In my culture, women moving out before marriage is considered bad. People spread nasty untrue rumors about me and gossiped non-stop. It's been over 10 years since then, and now everyone has nothing bad to say. Some even suck up to me now just because I did well in life, or their version of doing well. These people just want to tear you down because they see the potential of what you can become, and that makes them upset. My wife gave birth to a black baby that clearly isn't mine, and I'm divorcing her. But I'm worried about the relationship between my 2 kids and their new half-sister. A month ago, my wife gave birth to a black baby girl. We are both white, so she was forced to admit that the child was a result of a one-night stand last year. I started divorce proceedings, although we are still living together for now. Between our 2 boys, aged 2 and 4, I've had paternity tests for them, and they came back positive. Her infant daughter and her having lost her job due to COVID, living together as amicably as possible until the divorce is settled, is an unfortunate necessity. Naturally, I have no ill will towards the baby, and I've been disgusted by some of the comments I've heard from family members, friends, co-workers and others, all who seem to be fixated on the racial angle of this. As if the most salient part of this isn't that my wife cheated, but that she cheated with a black man, and that the baby is black. What really worries me is that my 2 sons might pick up on these narratives. They are too young to really understand what's happening now, but I'm worried that as they grow to understand the situation, that they might grow to resent their half-sister for breaking up their parents' marriage. And worse, that their resentment might express itself in a racist fashion, under the influence of the aforementioned racist narratives. Any thoughts on how I should try to influence my sons away from that perspective? It probably doesn't help that we live in a suburb with very few black people and their half-sister is really the only black person my children know. I'm no parent, but I think telling the boys to love their sister no matter what would do the situation some good. Or at least to keep that message consistent through their upbringing. Thank you. I agree that consistent messaging is important. Probably need to coordinate that with their mother as well. Step 1. You need to consult a lawyer in your jurisdiction to ensure you don't accidentally establish paternity if it's not too late. Original poster. Listen to this. In most jurisdictions you will be the father of this child by default, since you were married to the mother at birth, assuming she didn't go out of her way to put her aunt's name on the birth certificate. This means you will be on the hook for this child, no matter how obviously she is not yours. Look these people straight in the eye and ask them if they would have been okay with your wife's cheating if she had slept with a blonde-haired blue-eyed white man. Also, if you can at all avoid it, don't leave your kids alone with any of these people. You'll need to be there to tell them stop talking about my kid's sister like that. Firstly, I'm really sorry about saying this, but holy crap, this must have been so ducking awkward when the baby came out. It's like a scene from a comedy movie. The doctor/nurses must have felt so bad. Now that's over with, if you really want, just treat the child like you would any other child she had after you broke up. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through a divorce firstly. Secondly, your children won't even bother with the fact my oldest daughter is also darker. I met my now ex-wife already 6 months pregnant. Our second daughter never questioned the differences until 9 or 10, and all we said was my oldest had a different dad, but I was her dad, you know. And if you're worried about your racist family rubbing off their beliefs to your children, well, there is no law that says they must be a part of their lives. That's 1,000,000% up to you. Kids mimic. I don't think they will blame their sister. Their father, you, sounds like a reasonable and not as a racist. I would like to comment though that I doubt it was a one-night stand. She only admitted what would cause minimum damage given the facts. If you find out she met him twice, she will admit it was a 2 times thing and so on. Yeesh. Imagine if the kid wasn't clearly a different race. You never would have known the kid wasn't yours, and you would have been shamed for even considering a paternity test, since that's a cardinal sin. You will have to avoid showing resentment toward your wife and her daughter in front of your kids. But even then they will eventually be adults who can form their own opinions. This is an extremely tough situation, but it's something that will affect the rest of their lives. If you continue to show their sister respect, they will do the same. Be the best example you could be for them. At this age I would consider not even mentioning that it's their half sister and just their sister until they start asking questions. It isn't your burden to bear it, your ex and her love a burden. You're by no means obligated to go back and with those same behaviors again or having what he did hang over her head. It isn't your job to fix this, as if there must be some solution and you're the unreasonable one. If you can't come up with it, she is not entitled to a relationship with you. Dude, your wife is trash. Kick her ass out. She deserves no sympathy. And the reason the racial angle matters is because she never would have told you it happened if the kid wasn't dark. What a rotten woman. She doesn't deserve anything from you. If you want to help your kids, fight for full custody. So friends, how did you like today's story? Comment below, and if you find the video interesting, then like and share this video. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, press the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon because I keep making videos like this. So friends, that's all in today's video. I meet you again in new video with new story. Till then, take care of your and keep watching the story station.